Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through the awesome program at Randwick this weekend. It is Everest Day. We're going to take you through the quaddie legs. We've got lots of best bets, plenty of value. Of course, the $100 hot seat later in the show. And welcoming our chief analyst, Michael Wood. Well, mate, look, the lights, they came on the Opera House. They went off. Everyone can now just go back to their days and nights. But look, for racing, mate, I absolutely loved it. And I'll tell you what, if you didn't know about the Everest last week, this week, or any time the last few weeks, you sure do now.
Yeah, absolutely right, mate. Great intro, Stu. Obviously, a massive barrier draw during the week. When has a race been as big as a barrier draw? I'm not sure. The barrier draw's been huge. You loved it. I liked it. A bit of a shame, some of the things that were said during the week, but it's all about the race now. What a big race it is, Stu.
It sure is. And look, the barrier draw done. Now all the eyes, they're in the skies, Mike. $13 million, in fact, is in the hands of the weather gods now. And not many of these Everest runners are real swimmers, are they?
Yeah, good spots, Stu. Some banter during the week. Some trainers are really confident. Some trainers are slightly worried. The connections of US Navy flag, they're really worried. But he's won a Group 1 on a genuine UK soft. Go figure there. I think he'll be fine. Some sun around on Thursday. We'll see what we get on Saturday.
All right, well, look, there's not just the Everest, of course. There's a Kosciuszko, the Everest version as well. Now, Mike, I know there's going to be plenty of busloads coming up from the William Hotel in Wagga Wagga. These guys, we're going to have to find them on this day because I'll tell you what, if Awesome Pluck wins, they are going to be going mental.
Mate, they will. Jenny Graham, I think she'll be crowd surfing at about 3:30 if they win. Let's go and find them during the afternoon. I want to hang out with those boys.
Well, we do. Look, it's going to be wet. We've said that, Mike. So key factors, take the viewers through it because they're going to be all important this weekend.
Yeah, Randwick sticky track or wet track on Saturday. So the key factor is going to be all important, especially one particular key factor. Let's have a look at the 4 big key factors that we look at every single Thursday night. Progression, will your horse improve on Thursday, including scope and stage of preparation? Distance at the stage of prep. We've got a 2,600 metre race to look at in the quaddie. That's a really important one. Track conditions, obviously a softer, heavy Randwick, probably in the soft range. And position and run, it could be a little bit laney on Saturday. Probably 3 to 4 horses off the fence will be the best spot.
Okay, well, look, we're going to have to watch out for that as always. But look, let's kick off the quaddie. And the first leg, well, we're going to get straight into it, is the Tab Everest. And Mike, over 1,200 metres, this is worth $13 million. The wait is over. It's grand final time for all these runners. Big Redzel, he is going for Everest number 2 to take his winnings over that $15 million mark. And just the one international, it's US Navy flag. And Mike, Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore, I tell you what, a lot of our English mates, I know they'll be waking up over there. Well, they'll be watching it over there in haste of us.
They definitely will be. Around the world they'll be watching this race. It's such a good quality race. It's not a Group 1 race. But it's definitely Group 1 quality. And the betting market we'll see soon is almost unbelievable just how even this race is. Let's have a look at the way the race shapes up. The feature race on Saturday, the feature race in Sydney all year long, special conditions. The horses are hand-picked for this race, obviously. 1,200 metres, a fair to strong tempo. They'll definitely be streaming forward. Soft conditions, we think. Maybe soft 5's a bit optimistic. And the rails back to the true after being out 6 metres last week. There could be a few lanes, 3 or 4 horses off, we think.
Yeah, the conditions so hard to predict this Saturday. But look, the market is up. It's been up for a very long time. And we do have a new favourite, Redzel, back in there at $6.50. How opens this? Shoals, what a run last start that was, $7. Trapeze Artist, $7.50 on the third line of betting there with Vega Magic. There is the import, US Navy flag here for Aidan O'Brien and Santa Ana Lane, $9. Just on the outer here, Mike. But Redzel here, $6.50 favourite. Last year's winner. What a race.
What a race. The market was turned on its head after the Premier Stakes a couple of weeks ago. Everyone loved Redzel, then he drifted out. Now he's come back into favourite again. Can you believe it? He's in the lead this day with In Her Time getting the nice run behind. Shoals out the back, patiently ridden, storming home. And Santa Ana Lane on the inside, urged along about now, Stu, in the blue and yellow.
Well, he's the one you just have to look for late in all his races. And look, Redzel doing his thing out in front here, Mike, but the charges are coming.
Yeah, big finishes from Shoals, who was patiently ridden. Santa Ana Lane, we think he's better on a slightly wet track with more tempo, so to win this race was amazing for him. Trapeze Artist, we know he can take a step back second up, and he's not too far off than there. It's the wet track that's the question for him on Saturday.
Well, the wet track, we know it's not a concern for Santa Ana Lane. So let's take you back to the Stradbroke earlier this year because, well, this is another one. Up the inside again, Mike, but love the way this boy finished. And, well, this is those conditions.
Yeah, we talk about progression as a key factor. And boy, has this sprinter progressed over the last 12 months. His Group 1 win in Adelaide before this start was unbelievable. He surged through the field and smashed them. This day, up the inside, in the lesser ground, off a strong tempo. And geez, this horse finds a line, Stu.
Super Cash, Champagne Cuddle, some pretty good horses in behind, but loved it. Look at how easy that was at the end.
Big margin, and the conditions suit better on Saturday.
All right, you've said conditions a few times. Let's have a look at now all the form and all the key factors for the big race of the day. It is the Everest. Light up the form here, Mike.
Hand-picked, the best sprinters in the land. If one was out of form, they didn't make the race. They were carved out of the race. Nothing between them on form, Stu.
Very, very true. All right, let's get the analyst started, Mike. Take key factors.
Yeah, looking progression, which horse can improve? We talked about Trapeze Artist third up. We're giving him a length. He could improve 2 or 3. Shoals and Santa Ana Lane from the Freedman stable, they seem to have a bit more up their sleeve, and they were so good last start.
Okay, so Shoals and Santa Ana Lane out in front as we hit distance at stage of prep.
Yeah, back from 1,400 metres. Vega Magic will like it. Brave Smash up from 1,000. He'll like it as well.
Okay, so we've got a race on our hands here, as we'd expect. What about the track conditions, Mike? We said only a few of these might just like the wet.
Yeah, Shoals probably does like it, but her sticky Randwick wins are only just by a nose in lesser grade, so he didn't give her a gold bar. Santa Ana Lane we saw, and Brave Smash, a little bit wetter, is better for the Weir Runner.
Okay, so Santa Ana Lane out in front of Shoals. Now, we've had the barrier draw, position in run. Who does this help?
We don't know. The barrier draws hasn't helped any particular horse. Obviously, Redzel on the inside, but the wind's going to be in their face and the tempo will be honest, so we didn't give the leaders a gold bar.
Yep.
And we didn't give any horses a gold bar. The jockeys will be all important on Saturday. You need to find the right lane.
Okay, Mike, so it was Santa Ana Lane just out in front there. Let's bring all the odds back in as we've had a look at these ratings, Mike, because this market, as we said, it's been up for so long now. Santa Ana Lane, though, $9, a little bit of a drift. We've got to see if everything's all right there. Shoals just in behind, but look, all the favourites are pretty much there, Mike, but a little set against the favourite here, Redzel.
Yeah, Redzel, we don't think he can win. He's been beaten in strong tempo 1,200 metre races recently, and this is a stronger edition of the Everest, so we think it's going to be tough for Redzel, even though he's so popular. Santa Ana Lane was good last start. Santa Ana Lane gets better conditions on Saturday. We think the Melbourne horse will win.
All right, so Santa Ana Lane, just a best bet, no value in the Everest.
Each way all day for him.
All right, there's a look at the big Everest for us. The first leg of the quaddie. Jumping straight into the second leg, it is the Craven Plate over the 2,000 metres. And we saw It's Somewhat an Egg chart, Mike. They chased home Ace High last start. We know he's down onto the cups after this. So that form's looking like it's going to stack up. And, well, look, we've got a few of these here, Mike, with the records, the wet tracks, and a few of your favourite mares in this race.
Can you believe it? Dixie, Notoya, a couple of others as well. I love these horses. Egg Tart as well. They all love a wet Randwick track, and I love all of those horses. Which one am I going to back? Let's have a look and see what the analysis says. Over 2,000 metres, the second leg of the quaddie, Group 3, a fair tempo. Could even be a bit stronger. A couple from out wide rolling forward, including our Beatsum, who went so hard last start in the Epsom. Soft 5, like we said. Could be optimistic. And watch out for those lanes on Saturday.
All right, let's have a look at the market now for the Craven Plate. It is the second leg of the quaddie at Royal Randwick this weekend. And Egg Tart has had a few chances this preparation, but well supported again into $3.20. It's Somewhat, similar form lines there, $4.80. Coming through, has had a couple of runs down in Melbourne, back to Sydney. Dixie Blossom's a little bit of support here too. 11s into the 9s, and Mossendale, we know this horse loves the wet, up from Melbourne and $10, Mike. But Egg Tart, I'll see how the punters are going to play this one.
Yeah, we'll have a look at her in a second. We talked about progressive horses, Santa Ana Lane improving over the last 12 months. Is this other Melbourneite improving as well? We had Mossendale pinned as kind of a welter, 1,600 metre horse. But his last couple of starts, he's smashed them. His last start, he went to 1,800 metres for the first time. And this was a really, really good run, Stu.
Yeah, this horse is absolutely flying. You know, when Peter Gelgotis has got his horses in form, they absolutely fire. Look at this, straight down the middle. And importantly, this is what we could be seeing on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Up to 2,000 metres. Who knows what he's going to do? We know he can handle a wet Randwick. He's won there before. Pretty Punk in second. That's a decent form line. And look at the way he hits the line in the last 50 metres. He absolutely loves his racing, that horse.
All right, well, let's look at some proper 2,000 metre Group 1 form here, Mike. We're talking the Doomben Cup. We're looking at Egg Tart and coming through. This is a really good form reference.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not sure if Mossendale's going to make the grade on Saturday. Obviously, he's in career best form, but we won't know till he gets there on Saturday. This is proper Group 1, 2,000 metre, weight for age form. Egg Tart and coming through, both for the Wallace stable, both with great form lines, and cross the line pretty much together here, Stu, in the winter.
It's good to look at. Now, Egg Tart, Mike, Randwick type, wet tracker. That's what everyone's saying.
Well, on the profile page, that's what it looks like, but she's only been to a soft 5 Randwick before, and she was unlucky. She's never been on a proper Randwick wet track before. I can't believe it. She's definitely the right type.
Yeah, well, she's probably going to get that on Saturday. So let's get into all the analysis now, the form and the key factors. Mike, take it away.
Yeah, we've given away one of the key factors already. Form, Egg Tart and It's Somewhat next to each other last start in a decent form race. Light them up for form.
Okay, so there's the two favourites out in front as we hit the key factors and progression.
Yeah, some horses with big upside down the bottom. So Who Shot the Barman can improve. Invictus Prince, if he doesn't race keenly, he can improve as well. Love a bit of upside for her.
Okay, and distance at stage of preparation?
Yeah, definitely. Who shot the barn with a bit more tempo? He'll like the distance as well. Natoya, she'll like stepping back in distance. They're the two that get a gold bar there.
Okay, so it's the favourite still out in front here, Mike. Now the wet track.
Yeah, bit of a nice pattern on this page, isn't there? Gold bar, purple bar, gold bar, purple bar. Dixie Blossoms loves the wet, but obviously she was in the wet last week, so she can't get a kicker for that. We talked about Egg Tart. We talked about Mossendale. Mossendale's won on a round week before. Egg Tart's never even been there before. She gets a big kicker.
Yeah, I was waiting to see that. And Mossendale levelling up too. Position in run over the 2000.
Yeah, once again, a bit tricky, a bit of guesswork. Not sure who's going to get the right spot. Trust the jockeys on Saturday.
Okay, well, look, there are all the key factors and the form, Mike. Time for a bet in the Craven. Egg Tart, there's been a bit of love here. I would have thought I'd see a little bit more love for Dixie from you, though.
No, I love that horse, don't I? But she's definitely not the top raider.
Well, look, time for a bet here, Mike. Which way are we going to play? I mean, $3.20 Egg Tart. The favourite is there. $10 Mossendale. I can see a little bit of a trend happening here. It's somewhat coming through in behind. Now, these are serious horses, though.
Yeah, the top four horses are the top four chances. We really like those four. I don't really think our Beatson or Who Shot the Bum will win. Natoya, if it pours on Saturday, she'll definitely firm. But it's all about the top two for us. I'm so excited to see Egg Tart on a proper wet Randwick track. She'll settle midfield on the inside and she will storm home, and Mossendale will give a big kick, 400 out.
All right, there's a look at the Craven. So it's Egg Tart for us. Stick around after the break and we'll wrap up legs 3 and 4 on Huge Everest Day at Royal Randwick this weekend. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. We're up to the third leg of the quaddie at Royal Randwick this weekend, and it is the St Ledger over the 2,600 metres, and we get to see the return of Patrick Aaron after that big Group 1 win in the Metropolitan last start. And Mike, Darren Weir brings a couple up here, Harapur and Red Cardinal, and these two horses, they're onto the Cup, so he's trying to really get that Ledger going in Sydney in the right direction.
All those trainers are trying to get him into the Cups, aren't they? It's such a good race to lead into the Caulfield Cup and next week, I think, in the Melbourne Cup in a few weeks' time. Yep. I hope one or two of these horses can progress. It's some nice days in this race. It's going to be a real test over 2,600 metres. Let's have a look at the way the race sets up. Not too much tempo in this race, just a couple going forward. It could be really steady in the midsections. They could sprint from sort of 500 or 600 metres out. Only 1 or 2 leaders, including the jumper down the bottom of the weights. Soft 5 to soft 7, probably on the soft 7 side. And watch out for those lanes. It's a staying race, so most jockeys will find the right spot in this race.
Okay, let's have a look at the market now for the staying feature of the day, the St Ledger. And Harapur in such great form, winning the last 3. Up the highway for Darren Weir, $4 favourite. 1 Foot in Heaven has a few nice runs this preparation as well, $6.50. Secunderabad also up from Melbourne for the Hayes stable, $6.50. And here comes that Metropolitan form. We've got Patrick Aaron, Libran, Orvray, and of course Wall of Fire, last year's Melbourne Cup runner, Mike. Harapur, $4 favourite here, Mike, but this is quite an open race. A lot of interesting form lines to get through. Yeah,
some great stays. We're not going to look at Harapur on the replays, but he's absolutely flying unless the grade. We're going to go to the good grade. We're going to go to the Group 1 Metropolitan, which you think would be a real test over 2,400 metres at Randwick. But the wind was out, and boy, did they walk. Patrick Aaron near the pace, running some incredible sectionals home, and a couple running on from the back as well, Stu.
Yeah, look, not many from the back, just making up this ground here, Mike. What about Orvray up the middle, up the inside there? Sort of got a bit of my attention. Now, weight swings you talked about in this race as well.
Yeah, Patrick Aaron up 8.5 kilograms, Secunderabad up 5.5, Orvray only up a half. Wall of Fire only up 1, and Libran up 1.5. Horses from the back well weighted on Saturday, and also the tempo was way against that day.
All right, well, look, one of those runners that was at the back, there, Mike, Wall of Fire, didn't look too much there. Let's take you back. We're going back to August 2017 here. So this is before this horse came out for the Cup. He's obviously had a long time off into this race, into the Metropolitan and to this race. This was a serious race, and this is on soft conditions, importantly.
Yeah, absolutely. Form analysts, when they go back through the form, when they find a nice run, they get shivers up their spine when they find a good one. This is exactly what I got when I saw this replay. This is the last time Wall of Fire was on a soft track. He's behind Defoe, who went on to almost win a Group 1. He beats Frontiersman, who had Group 1 form and won a listed race at his next start. This is exceptional weight for age, staying form in Europe. And his first up run was fine.
Okay, you do like frothing over your European form at this time of year. Let's have a look now at all the analysis, Mike. The form and the key factors, light them up.
Yeah, Orvray at the weights. He was beaten last start, but he gets such a big turnaround on Patrick Aaron, he has to get the gold bar for form.
Okay, so there's Orvray as we hit the key factors time, Mike, kicking it off with progression.
Yeah, Harapur untapped on the rise for Darren Weir. Could be anything. Wall of Fire, second up after a year off. He has to progress. Red Cardinal, he's got some upside as well.
Okay, so Harapur and Orvray out in front as we hit distance at stage of preparation.
Yeah, most of them should like it. Red Cardinal will definitely like it. but most of them are okay at the distance.
Okay, so still the two on top there, Mike. Track conditions, this is the important one.
Yeah, looking for ones that can sprint in the soft conditions. 1 Foot in Heaven can sprint, but we think he might peak. Patrick Evan does like it. And we just saw that replay for Wall of Fire, so he definitely has to get a gold bar, doesn't he?
Well, he is absolutely levelling up here, Mike, and position and run probably won't help us too much.
Yeah, we're not playing that at all again.
All right, so it's Haripur, and then we've got Auvray, Wall of Fire. They're all on top here, Mike. Time for a bet. It's the third leg here. Let's bring up those odds and all the ratings to see where we're going to play this race. I know that the favourite was on top there as well, Mike, but there's a few down the bottom there with a bit of odds. Wall of Fire at 11s. We've highlighted him. Auvray right there as well. So, look, 3 horses right on top here.
Yeah, absolutely. Haripur is a big play. If the money comes and he parades well and he enjoys Sydney, he's going to be so hard to beat. But those other 2 top raters are massive, massive each-way plays for us. Auvray, if it's not too wet. Wall of Fire in any conditions. He's a serious weight for age day at his best. And those odds should firm if he's anywhere near his best on Saturday. He could start really short.
All right, so good confidence here. Wall of Fire.
Could be a plunge.
Getting into the third leg of the quaddie there at Randwick. Now, look, Mike, we're wrapping it up. The celebration sprint over the 1,000 metres. And I tell you what, it might just be a big celebration. There's going to be plenty of scampering getting on down to see Liam Payne and the Theatre of the Horse. And after such a big day, I mean, this really just will be the lucky last, the get-out stakes. And one thing's for sure, Mike, there's going to be an absolute party come the end of the day if you land this quaddie because it's going to pay.
6, race 10 on Everest Day. This could be a messy race.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can help the punters out if they can remember this race. Yeah, have a look at our tips before you start betting on this one. Benchmark 78 1,000 metres. It's going to be an absolutely ripping strong tempo. They're going to fly along. Anything could win. Maybe soft 5 if the sun's out on Saturday, and watch out for those lanes definitely in the 1,000 metre scamper.
All right, let's have a look at the market now for the get-out stakes. It is the last leg of the quaddie this weekend at Royal Randwick, and here we've got the Godolphin horses. They're pretty much dominating this. Esperance, $4.60. We've got Reveneer Fresh at $5.50 on the same line as Brook Magic in good form. Loves the wet, this horse. Beacon as well for Godolphin. And Brian up from Melbourne, Mike. But look, Godolphin look to have a pretty handy asset on this race, and they've done this a lot over the last few weeks in the last. Yeah,
they're flying. They've still got a great strike rate, and there's a couple of decent fresh horses here. We'll have a look at one of them here, racing against Brook Magic, who is a serious 1,000 metre wet track horse. Reveneer back in the pack running up the inside. And some pretty good form lines here around She Knows Stu, who's a really good winter wet tracker, isn't she?
She is, and I was here this day. I just remember saying this horse is fast and it can just hold its position there. And here it goes and being challenged but loves it.
Yeah, absolutely. You want a horse that's got speed and you want a horse that's got fight. This horse has got both of those qualities. You think Reveneer is going to go straight past, but he just peaks on his run. But he does get a big weight turnaround on Saturday, and his trial was great in 4th leading into this race.
Well, look, look at one wet tracker, Mike. Now, another one we know is Noble Joey. This horse definitely loves a wet track for Robbie Price down in Nowra. And look, all importantly, this replay, Mike, I'm looking at the position of the run here because off rails, Randwick, late in the day, this is where they might be on Saturday.
Yeah, you need certain tough types, don't you? Look, there She Knows again a month later. It stamps the form line, exactly the same form to the replay that we just saw. Noble Joey on pace, coming out wide with no cover. Not many horses can do this and keep lifting to the line. He's a really tough horse for Robbie Price.
We just love a horse that can do that, and just when challenged, just keeps lifting, as you said. Love it.
Yeah, underrated horse on a wet track. Randwick, wet, 1,000 metres is his go.
Always goes round at a bit of odds as well. Let's have a look at all the analysis now, Mike. It is the last leg of the quaddie. Form and key factors. Let's light them up.
Yeah, it might be 1,400 metre form, but Beacon's got the best form. Light him up with a gold bar.
Okay, so it's Beacon just on top here, Mike. Key factors, time, progression.
Yeah, a lot of horses going around the country, provincial tracks. The ones with upside are the Godolphin horses, and maybe a bit of scope for Blue Tycoon as well, we think.
Okay, the favourite. It's all with gold bars there. Distance at stage of preparation?
Yeah, 1,000 metres. Blue Tycoon back in distance is good for him, and Noble Joey back to 1,000 metres is ideal for the tough horse.
Okay, so still Beacon out in front from Reveneer. As we hit the track conditions, we've mentioned a few of these that like it.
Yeah, some big kickers. Brook Magic and Noble Joey are just absolutely Randwick wet trackers. Prince Mayted, he's underrated as well. He's not badly weighted and he likes a wet track too.
Okay, so a couple of roughies just getting involved here, including Noble Joey. Mike, position and run. This is 1,000, but where are they going to be?
We're going to have a bit of a crack at this one. Not many gold bars for position and run, but these horses can settle midfield off a strong tempo and hopefully find the right lane.
Okay, Mike, so look, time for a bet here. Bit of love for all the favourites there, but I've also seen some love for some real wet trackers in Brook Magic there, as we said, and Noble Joey. Let's have a look here, Mike. $5.50, $5.50. They're the ones on top. Look, we're looking at all the favourites here, but which way are we going to play it?
1,000 metre wet track, end of the day, race 10. I am not backing a favourite on a Thursday night. I'm just not. If I'm looking across that page, I'm looking for odds, and I'm looking for Noble Joey. He's tough, he's on pace, he's a great horse. And Leo Gang, I think that's how you pronounce it, first up. down in the weight. It's not a bad 4-year-old. He's got some progression too.
I like that. It's not always about the favourite in the last. We've got to find value on Everest Day. Speaking of value, this quaddie's going to pay a bomb no matter what happens, Mike. How are we going to play this? Kicking off with the Everest. How many you got in there?
Now, I think you're leaving me in the quaddie seat. I can't believe it. 3 out of 4 the last 2 weeks, and you haven't taken the reins yet. Maybe you give me one more reprieve. Stu Santarane, Elaine and Scholes with the same stable. US Navy flag over from the UK. We've got to go with him. Race 8, they're the 2 Randwick wet track types. We love them both. Race 9, Alvray and Wall of Fire each way all day, and you can't leave out the favourite. And race 10, like we said, you've got to go wide. Leo Gang, get him home for a big quaddie.
All right, 79.4% for your $100, coming home very wide there in the last. Now, the $100 hot seat might have been going well here lately. Where are we playing this week? I can see Wall of Fire in the mix at 11s here.
Yeah, got to put him in. Race 9, $20 each way, Wall of Fire. It's almost the best bet of the day for us at the odds, but Santarane Lane, he was our top rater at 9, so you can't leave him out. Egg Tart, so excited about that wet Randwick track. And it's such a big day on Saturday. I've got my special Everest jacket on, so I've got to put a massive all up on. 317 to 1, $10. Get them all 3 home, please.
That's what we want to see. It's going to be a massive day out there at Royal Randwick on Saturday. 10 race program. Liam Payne playing in the Theatre of the Horse. It's been a long few weeks, a long few months in the build-up, but get there on Saturday. Check out theraceguide.com.au for all your profiling needs. You're going to need them in the wet this weekend. That's all from us. We'll see you again next week. Have a great Everest day.
Cheers. Enjoy the big race.